the backcourt, Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton for the Pistons, with Tyson Kidd with Kerry Kittles, and up front, Richard Jefferson, Martin, and Collins. But the crowds in this series in New Jersey have been some of the loudest they have ever had, even sometimes louder than the games in the finals of the last couple years for the Nets. And here we go with Billups going at the Tayshaun Prince. Collins is on Ben Wallace, and Rasheed Wallace at his side with a traveling violation and a first turnover of the game.
I talked to Larry Drew, the assistant coach for the New Jersey Nets, before the game. He said, you know, quietly, a guy who's played very well for us in this series has been Jason Collins. He said his numbers don't run out at you, but he said he's done a very nice job inside.
Quiet numbers and great size, of course, and just part of the arsenal of the New Jersey Nets is Kenyon Martin. Battles against Ben Wallace with an easy move inside by Kenyon Martin.
That matchup has changed. Ben Wallace is now guarding Kenyon Martin. They made that switch. For the importance, who stays out of foul trouble? Kenyon Martin has fouled out of 3 games in this series. They need him on the floor tonight, Kevin.
Pistons got here by beating Milwaukee in 5. The backdoor to Tayshaun Prince with a nice move off the baseline.
Well, when you're getting overplayed, you've got to be able to get some backdoor action. That was a great pass.
Detroit got here by beating Milwaukee in 5. And the New Jersey Nets with a great dunk by Jefferson. New Jersey with plays like that from Jefferson swept the New York Knicks.
Well, you saw Rasheed Wallace. He looked to his teammates and said, you got to talk to him. He let me know that there's no one there to help me. He forced him baseline. There was nobody to protect.
And Chauncey Billups, who played at Colorado and has bounced around the NBA, Boston, Minnesota. Now he's found a home here in Detroit. Wallace to Rasheed Wallace, a midseason trade with Atlanta and Portland before that. And inside he goes with the rebound by Kenyon Martin. And now Kittles, wide open.
That is what New Jersey wants to do. Quick hitting action, especially a guy like Kerry Kittles. Since he's moved over to play Chauncey Billups in this series, this whole series has changed.
Billups is thriving from outside normally, but in this series, as coach just said, things have changed. A turnover by Ben Wallace. Here's Jefferson to Kidd, a 2-on-1. Chasing Kidd. And Jefferson puts it in. That ball, they say, was not in the cylinder.
Nightmare start for Detroit. This is exactly what you did not want to have happen. Dig yourself a hole. New Jersey out and running.
And the way that Detroit stops this crowd and the Nets is with energy, and so far they've been a little bit tentative with some early turnovers. And Rasheed Wallace, rebound by Kidd, the quick releasing Kenyon Martin off the fingertips of Wallace. That foot, he labors, does Rasheed Wallace.
Watch this now. Jason Kidd looks over his shoulder. He knows if I can just get it up on the board. That ball was in the cylinder. Very fortunate there that Richard Jefferson did not get called for that. But when you play New Jersey, you have got to sprint back.
And Jefferson, the leading scorer on New Jersey. And a Detroit foul. They were trying to go inside. And the foul goes on Tayshaun Prince out of Kentucky, his first.
So much has been made about most improved players in the NBA. People forget about Richard Jefferson. Maybe when you start talking about, we talked about Carlos Boozer, we talked about Zach Randolph, some of these guys, James Posey, who had great years. This guy has elevated his play. He's going to be an Olympian. He's ready to be an all-star. And the reason they're winning this series right now is because the last 3 games, he has been unstoppable offensively.
Well, in Game 5, he played 53 minutes. He had 31 points. He was 13 of 18 from the free throw line. He collected 11 rebounds, and he leads the Nets now on an 8-0 run over the last minute 26.
You can see how they want to pick up the floor defensively. It's going to be an 8-second count here. Ooh.
Hamilton, Billups, and Ben Wallace missing a jam. Loose inside. Volleyball by Kittles. Martin, Kidd. Back to Kenyon Martin in a mismatch against Tayshaun Prince will get some help. Here it comes from Wallace, but that leaves Collins open inside and a Detroit foul.
It's going to be interesting to watch how long Rasheed Wallace can play. Every time he tries to plant that foot, he lifts it up and protects it. It's hard for him to run. It's hard for him to backpedal. And whoever he's playing defensively, that guy is going to be sprinting the floor and trying to make him run up and down.
Billups picks up his first as the Nets are shooting 66% from the field to start the game. 4 of 6. A little check out on top around the perimeter. That foul goes on Billups. Make it Prince, who picks up his second foul.
I think when you play Richard Jefferson, when he catches the ball a little bit away from the basket, you can't crowd him so much. Prince is so close to him one quick step, he puts his hand out, it's a foul. You got to make Richard Jefferson make jump shots. And when you allow him to drive that ball to the basket, all of a sudden now you get fouls. Now New Jersey starts shooting free throws. It's going to be a problem.
So Prince is out with 2. Here comes Corliss Williamson, a one-time 6th-man award winner. A little zone defense by Detroit.
Trying to force the outside shot and slow New Jersey down. They're in a great rhythm right now.
And Jefferson with the fake. Wallace bit and Kittles makes another nice fake around Hamilton. Shot clock goes off in the violation there.
Nice job by Larry Brown coming out of that little foul situation. Goes to a zone just to slow New Jersey down, give them a different look. New Jersey, Kevin, is a very rhythmic offensive team. You've got to disrupt their rhythm. A lot like Sacramento, you've got to take away their layups.
The inside play for these teams is vital. Here comes Detroit. They are 1 of 4 to start the game. And Rip Hamilton, a guy you've had in the past, coaching, picked up by Ben Wallace. Good offensive rebound. Williamson picked up by Jefferson.
Corliss Williamson looks like he's playing with a necklace on. And you're not allowed to play with a necklace. He has a necklace on out there.
He does, you're right.
But you were talking about Rip Hamilton. The game plan for New Jersey is to keep Rip Hamilton and Chauncey Billups out of the middle of the floor. They're trying to push him to the sideline so they can't get in the middle and create opportunities.
Detroit only has 1 score on their first 7 trips into Williamson. Goes around Kidd. Ben Wallace can't tap it in. And here comes Kittles and New Jersey. Wow! Kenyon Martin.
How many power forwards can run like that, Mr. Harlan?
He's releasing quickly, but his timing is impeccable.
Well, he's counting on his guards to come back and rebound. Look what Jason Kidd does. He tips that ball. Look at his eyes. His eyes are ahead. And you look what New Jersey does. They do not run for three-point shots, Kevin. They run for layups and dunks.
Hamilton picks up his first foul. And so far, while the Pistons have not been to the free throw line, this will be the 3rd attempt for the New Jersey Nets. Martin at the stripe. And completes the 3-point play. You're talking about Williamson's necklace. I see he's just taking it off. Timeout Detroit. Way out, and tonight way ahead.
Well, they were plus 31 at home in the 2 games. They're already off and running 5-0 transition points right now. This is a team at home. You cannot let them get into this kind of rhythm. They are playing great basketball, and you can see what's happened. In the last 3 games, in the first 6 minutes, they've been outscored by 25 points, almost 8 or over 8 a game. Tonight, already 11. The worst possible start for Detroit, 1 of 9 from the floor.
And the Pistons, of course, facing elimination. Rasheed Wallace is screened for Rip Hamilton.
They want him to come out the left side of the floor. That's exactly where he came out. They feel like he's not nearly as effective because he's not as good driving to the left with his hands as he is to the right.
2 of 10 now, Detroit tonight. And Kenyon Martin, he's got 5 points along with Jefferson's 5 against Ben Wallace, and partially deflected by Ben Wallace.
That's great defense there. Just held his ground, went up and got the shot.
Here's Rip Hamilton. Inside to Ben Wallace. Kidd is on Hamilton. Shot clock is down to 10. And New Jersey is +2 in rebounding.
When you play against New Jersey, you got to get guys back. Almost your point guard's got to be back, and maybe one other guy. Right now, Detroit is trying to go to the offensive boards. It's now 7-0 fast break points as they just added another layup.
Nice move inside. And Hamilton with the layup. And Rip Hamilton now has 4 to lead the Detroit Pistons.
And he's capable of throwing up a big night. He can give them 30 or 35 points, but who's going to help him?
That's the question. Billups, they were likely, like you say, he's been struggling of late. Jefferson. And a rebound inside, held by Rasheed Wallace. 11 points has been the biggest New Jersey lead tonight. Leading scorer with 5 apiece, Jefferson and Martin. Williamson is in because Prince has a couple fouls, and count it with a nice play inside from Rasheed Wallace.
Good composure here by Detroit now. They've taken a little bit of a surge, a hit. If they can just get this crowd out of the game, and they can do it, Kevin, but you got to be offensively efficient. You see now they've come down the floor the last couple times. Rip Hamilton's gotten the layup. Little opportunity there for Rasheed Wallace for a three-point play. Now, this guy really is laboring off that foot. And when we talked to Larry Brown before the game, he said where he really misses him more than anything else, he says his defense is really limited. They can't trap and do the things they were doing when he was healthy.
Jason Collins picked up the foul. 0 of 1 free throw shooting tonight for the Pistons. And as we said, the Nets are 3 of 3. Speaking of threes, neither team has put up a three so far in the game.
Detroit back to zone again, trying to disrupt New Jersey, make them be a perimeter jump shooting team.
Collins. Jefferson after the Collins screen. 2-point shot and hits the scoreboard.
When you play Jersey, if you can make them shoot jump shots, you got a great chance to beat them. Take away their layups, their second chance points, their easy baskets, their points in the paint. If they have a weakness, Kevin, it's they're not a great shooting team.
Starting five is still in there for New Jersey. We've only had the one substitution in the game. Williamson for the 2-foul, Tayshaun Prince. Phillips. And Wallace is picked up by Kenyon Martin. Wallace trying to manufacture something inside, and they need more of that. Those layups, those baskets underneath.
When you go inside, what it does too is it slows the game down. And if Detroit's going to win this game, it's got to be a half-court game. For New Jersey, they want to make it a 94-foot game.
No lead changers and no ties in this game so far. Detroit's on a 6-0 run. And the try by Richard Jefferson.
Don't bite on that fake. He's just missed 2 jump shots. Don't run at him. Make him shoot another one. He loves that baseline.
Pistons have turned it over twice. Both were in the first minutes of the game. They've settled down now with the great assist from Ben Wallace inside to Richard Hamilton.
He's done such a great job of moving without the basketball. Richard Hamilton has got to use his speed and quickness. Jason Kidd's going to try to muscle him. He's got to just try to outrun him. Keep coming off those picks.
Nets have 4 assists with 7 made baskets as Martin scoops it off to Kidd, the #1 assist man in the playoffs, and Jason Collins. Rebound by Corliss Williamson.
That's 4 straight jump shots out now from New Jersey.
And speaking of 4, that's what Detroit has hit, 4 straight shots, and a turnover right there. #3 on the Pistons. Kittles against Wallace.
This is a guy who a few years ago questioned about would he ever play again. He had a horrific knee injury. They thought he might not be able to play. And he has come back. He gives them great speed in the open court. He's an underrated defensive player. And what he's allowed Jason Kidd to do is to go off the ball and play Richard Hamilton defensively. He's playing Billups. And now they're cross-matched when they try to get out and run. And he is a blur in the open court with the basketball. Has great speed. And that was a tremendous finish by Kerry Kittle.
Part of a core of Nets that have been here through the last 3 years and have really built some resiliency. We saw that in the triple overtime win they had in Detroit a couple nights ago with Hamilton finding Rasheed Wallace. Shot clock at 5 and over Kenyon Martin. Wow.
You got to make Martin guard. You got to make him use energy on both ends of the floor. Both Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, anytime they get a chance, make the Nets interior defenders play.
Great pass into Kittles from Richard Jefferson.
I don't know why they're overplaying so much, Detroit. They're allowing New Jersey to play to their strength right now. The minute Kittles comes out like that, you got to let him catch the ball and make him shoot the ball under pressure.
Pistons are 7 of 16 on the fly. Hamilton, and he leads the Pistons with 8.
So smooth, Richard Hamilton. Best mid-range shooter in the game today, in my estimation.
Nets have gone 60%, hitting 9 of their first 15 shots. Good steal by Chauncey Billups. Just the second, make it the second turnover of New Jersey tonight, with Williamson colliding into Kenyon Martin with a Martin foul.
The one play that I was talking about, the backdoor cut, look where Richard Hamilton is above the three-point line. And Kerry Kittles, what he does, he works against his vision. And you talked about eye contact. And when you play with a group of guys for 3 or 4 years, as this team has played together, guys know what the other guy's going to do out on the floor simply with the look that you give one another. It's a trust, it's a resilience that you talked about that's forged under playoff pressure. This team has had some tremendous playoff battles over the last few years to get to the NBA Finals.
Absolutely. Billups for 3. And that's a good sign when Chauncey Billups can hit from outside. He had struggled in both games in this building, in this series, and a New Jersey timeout.
Because if it hadn't, I wouldn't have even gotten in the second half. He gets in the second half and plays in the overtimes and comes up with the big field goals. A delightful young guy who had some terrific shots the other night for his team and a great road win that swung the series in their favor.
Jason Jefferson, Martin Rogers, and Kittle's out there for New Jersey. Rodney Rogers, the first New Jersey substitute. Mehmet Okur is in the game now for Detroit with Williamson, Wallace, Hamilton, and Chauncey Billups. The Pistons have hit 8 of their last 9 shots after starting the game. 1 of 9. A knock away by Rodney Rogers and out of bounds.
When you score, now New Jersey has to take the ball in and you can get your defense back. They were 1 of 9 to start the game. Got down 13-2. They've hit 8 of their last 9, and they're now right back in the game. So against New Jersey, you have to be efficient with your offense and make some shots.
2.5 to play in this first quarter. Hamilton looking inside for Okur. And there he goes off the baseline and fouled as he went up and in. And Rodney Rogers was defending on that side. Rodney Rogers picks up his first personal foul, and from Turkey, Mehmet Okur will be at the free throw line.
Well, you can see why that Lawrence Frank wants to keep Rip Hamilton out of the middle. The minute he got into the lane, the defense collapsed, and he found Okur right underneath the basket. Now, this is a guy who had some terrific moments for this team through the last couple of years. They need him now to come through in this road game.
Playoffs continue Tuesday on ESPN. Pacers take on the Heat in Game 6. Wednesday night, TNT, Game 7, Sacramento, Minnesota. Coverage at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. What a finish that will be in downtown Minneapolis with Jason Kidd as we approach 2 to play in the first, finding Rodney Rogers. Okur is on him. Rogers with Okur getting the rebound. And now the Pistons have a chance to take a lead. It will be their first lead of the game and can't get it with Ben Wallace. And a whistle, even though the second time it went in, it blew it dead. The foul is called on Richard Jefferson of New Jersey.
Well, Detroit is showing a lot of poise here. It would have been very easy for them to be down now by about 15 points. Nothing was going right for them, Kevin. New Jersey jumped early with that 13-2 lead, and Detroit now has really calmed themselves down. And they're executing better. They're getting better shots. You can see their confidence start to come back. I mean, they had a hold of the series at 2-0, and New Jersey's rocked them. They put them on their heels. I mean, they've got to find a way to win this game here tonight.
Wallace only a 47% free throw shooter in this series against New Jersey, and for the regular season, 49%. And missing 2, had a chance to tie. Rebound by Kenyon Martin. Detroit is only 1 of 5 at the free throw line. Lucius Harris has come in for the first time for the New Jersey Nets. Jefferson. Lucius Harris. And he gets around Wallace, and then Jefferson kicks it inside to Kenyon Martin.
Now, what a great play by Richard Jefferson. When Larry Brown talked to us before the game, he said, you know, all those screen rolls they used to run just for Jason Kidd, now they're running with Richard Jefferson, and he's starting to make plays.
So Kittles has 8, Jefferson has 8, Martin has 7, Rip Hamilton with the miss. So Okur gets a nice offensive rebound, trying to slip it inside, and Hamilton will jump it along with Lucius Harris. So Kittles, Jefferson, and Martin have all 23 of New Jersey's points so far in the game.
He loves to go to that right hand. Again, he pump fakes and Ben Wallace runs to him. You drive the ball right at the defender who's trying to close out, and now your defense is collapsed. Now you're just scrambling. And he makes a nice pass to Kenyon Martin. And you know, you give Kenyon Martin dunks and layups, and all of a sudden he steps out on the floor and he's more confident shooting that little mid-range jump shots. Don't allow non-shooters to get easy layups and scores. It just expands their game.
Mike James has come in, and a drive inside by Hamilton is in.
Rips off to a great start here.
Final minute of the first quarter. Jefferson tried to ply it inside. A turnover right there. Pistons can take their first lead with no fouls to give either way, and another turnover for Detroit. And that is the fourth against them. 3 on New Jersey. Here come the Nets. They've shot 10 of 18. Martin for 3.
That's a 2-for-1 shot right there.
It is. The Pistons are shooting 47%, and Detroit, having never led, has trailed by as many as 11.
I wanted to say when he shot that bad shot, and as it was in the air, I saw where the shot clock was, and you could see he was going to get a 2-for-1, and now it's even worked out better. You've got a great free throw shooter at the line. He's going to get 2 free throws, and you're going to get the other shot back, so it could be a nice way to close the quarter here as the most popular man in the New Jersey, New York area, Brian Scalabrine. Listen at this crowd.
And you know what's great about Scalabrine, and Doug, you and I have been to many New Jersey practices. This kid works after practice about as long as any single player in this league on his shot, on his positioning, on his conditioning.
He loves basketball. There's no place he'd rather be in playing basketball. He missed 2 free throws by Harris. Big misses.
He had been 5 of 7 in this series until then, and did not miss a free throw in the New York Knicks series. Billups and Mike James out of Duquesne with a 2. Ben Wallace with a good-looking rebound and fouled as he went up and shot it.
Now, why did Ben Wallace take that shot back up? He was fading away. Look at the clock. Now, this is what you have to do. Manage clock. I mean, they got the last shot. Here, the shot goes up. Offensive rebound. Watch it. Just pull this back. He tries to shoot the basketball, and now he's going to go to the line instead of getting the last shot of the quarter. You got a 45% free throw shooter shooting 2, and now New Jersey's going to get the basketball. So those are little things that you've got to do to manage playoff games on the road. You love his hustle, shot clock awareness.
He's a veteran. I mean, sometimes you can understand that with younger players facing their first sword of playoff activity. But in this particular case, Wallace has been around for many years and played in many playoff games.
Well, he's such a hard worker. You don't want to take that aggressiveness away from him. He does make 1 of the 2, so we have a tie game here going into the last 20-plus seconds.
Rodney Rogers
with authority. You got a shot blocker, you can't flip it. He just went with power.
Darvin Ham is in for the final seconds here for Detroit. And Ham gets it back to newly instated Lindsey Hunter. Mike James. And a second remains as we conclude the first.
With New Jersey, they're off and running with that 9-0 transition difference, and that's been the story of the 2 games in here that they've won. New
Jersey, there's a foul on Lindsey Hunter of the Detroit Pistons. That's the first on him. New Jersey has won 3 straight games coming into tonight. They were down 0-2. They now lead the series 3 games to 2.
I coached Lindsey for about 3 years in Detroit. He's one of the best on-the-ball defenders in the league. He can really guard the basketball.
Hunter's out there with Williamson and Mike James, Okur, and Rasheed Wallace. And here's Kittles losing it inside, picked up by Williamson, now to Okur. Jefferson, Rogers, Scalabrine, Lucius Harris, and Kittles out there for New Jersey. A little 2-on-2 as Jefferson tried to sneak it in, and then a vice grip inside Kittles. And Rasheed Wallace the other way. 5 New Jersey turnovers, 5 Detroit turnovers in the game.
Well, you see Jason Kidd's out of the game now. That makes Lucius Harris and Kerry Kittles handle the basketball. Detroit's going to really try to pressure them now. It's back-to-back turnovers.
Ahmed Okur. And Rogers gives him some breathing space, and they go now to Williamson, who snuck behind Jefferson, who was turned, and then Okur with the jam.
You're going to go to that matchup right now. You're going to go Corliss Williamson is playing as a small forward, which makes Richard Jefferson have to guard him. So the power goes there to Williamson. Here's the pick. So you're going to have to get Jason Kidd back in the game, because right now Detroit is picking up their level of pressure. That's 3 straight turnovers.
Field.
Well, Jason Kidd back in the game after 3 quick turnovers. Lawrence Frank says, I've got to get my man back on the floor. He played 57 minutes now in the triple overtime. Will fatigue be a factor?
And that is a foul, and it's on New Jersey. And it goes on Richard Jefferson, D-line him. He picks up his second. What do you have?
Kevin, in that last huddle, Lawrence Frank said to his guys, we gave them life, we now must take it away. It's the first time in this building, as you mentioned, they have the lead, but it's also the first time that they've allowed Detroit to think they can play with them here in New Jersey.
And a lot of times, psychological advantages like that on the road mean everything.
Well, especially when they come out and jump on you 13-2 to start this game, but Exactly what Larry Brown wanted to have happen. When Jason Kidd sat down, they upped the level of the pressure, and now Detroit's in a pretty good rhythm.
Here's Mike James. He and the Pistons have hit 10 of their last 15 shots out there with Wallace. That's Rasheed Wallace into Williamson, Okur, and Lindsey Hunter.
Catch the ball with 2 hands. Even though it was a difficult pass, get both hands on the ball. That's 7 turnovers now for New Jersey, 6 for Detroit.
Aaron Williams comes in the game for the first time for the Nets with Scalabrine, Harris, Jason Kidd. Here's Kenyon Martin going up against Williamson down low. Williamson's kind of that in-between size. He's about 6'6", and tonight New Jersey has been playing big guys on him. Williams from point-blank range.
Well, New Jersey did a nice job there flashing in the middle of the floor. Detroit lost a little concentration. They had their eyes focused on Kenyon Martin, and Aaron Williams just flashed right to the open area.
Pistons shooting 46% for the game. Ben Wallace will set the check off the bench, as will Richard Hamilton. James Williamson inside around Aaron Williams.
8 turnovers.
Yeah, and here comes Lindsey Hunter knocking down a 3, and Larry Brown is over there. See, shoot the ball, and you find great success as he tries to cajole the veteran.
Well, another turnover, and they made them pay for it with that long jump shot. So that's 8 turnovers. That's 5 in this quarter already for New Jersey.
Nets are shooting 57% for the game as Harris finds Kenyon Martin. Williamson's defense is there. Shot clock is down to 7. Kidd is over Rasheed Wallace. The rebound inside. Kicking out to the sideline and out of bounds off the Pistons.
See, Kevin, it's a pretty simple game. When you put the ball in the basket here, as Lindsey Hunter's going to do on this play, knocks this 3 down wide open, it allows you to get your defense back. Now New Jersey has to play against a half-court defense, and that's where they struggle. So if Detroit can keep them playing half-court, they will have a great chance to win this game.
Hamilton and Wallace are back in for James and Williamson for the Pistons. As Kidd tries to maneuver, Lindsey Hunter is going through a screen which was set by Kenyon Martin, and a foul called on Lindsey Hunter.
Again, Lindsey's job is in there to pressure Jason Kidd. Make him work as hard as he can. He picks up his 2nd foul, so Chauncey Billups will come back into the game. But good minutes for Lindsey Hunter as Larry Brown went to his bench here early and got some nice production.
Nets have led by 11. Pistons have led by as many as 3 in the game.
See, with New Jersey having a big front line now, Larry Brown a big front line. He's got both Wallaces out there with Okur.
Kenyon Martin rejected by Rasheed Wallace and picked up by Chauncey Billups. And Chauncey gets a screen from Wallace. They got Kidd on him now. Harris is on Hamilton, and they've got Kenyon Martin on Rasheed on the block. Will there be a double with Kidd? There is. That turns the ball over, with Harris getting it to Jason Kidd, averaging over 9 assists a game in the playoffs. And Lucius Harris dancing with Billups, who tries to knock it away, and he was right inside his jersey with his defense. The ball went in, will not count. Chauncey Billups picks up the foul for the Pistons. Number 2 on him.
Well, Rasheed Wallace does a nice job here measuring this shot by Kenyon Martin. Kenyon loves to spin and come back to the basket. When he does, he sort of jumps out rather than up, and he just sort of laid that ball up for Rasheed Wallace to block.
Nets have missed 2 3-point shots. Here's Kidd with another 3. Now they're 0 of 3, and the Pistons are +6 in rebounding tonight. And that is a good sign. Rebounding in this series. Offensively, even New Jersey has been up just minimally in the first 5 games over the Pistons in rebounding. Wallace grinding inside, and a foul called on Scalabrine.
See, it's interesting, you know, Kevin, with Lucius Harris in the game with Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd guards Chauncey Billups. Let's see now if Detroit can try to go at Lucius Harris with Richard Hamilton now that Jason Kidd's not playing him. So sort of a chess matchup here. You see the big lineup for Detroit to match the big lineup of New Jersey, and see who can get the advantage.
Scalabrine picks up his first foul. Pistons are 2 of 2 shooting 3s tonight. Hamilton for 2 and puts it in just as you called. How do you know that?
You got it. It's a game of matchups. So it's a game of matchups. That's what the playoffs are all about.
Clairvoyant like Preston. Who, by the way, went to Manhattan here in the New York metro area. Harris picked up by Wallace.
Out of sync right now, New Jersey, Detroit really trying to make a push. That's a bad play by Richard Hamilton. Unforced error.
8 turnovers by the Pistons and 8 turnovers by the Nets. And Harris open for 3. Missed it all. Caught by Rasheed Wallace.
Again, I go back to Richard Hamilton. He's got the advantage here with Lucius Harris, playing in the open courts, playing in the half-court game, coming off screens.
Okur trying to go inside as Wallace was battling with Scalabrine, who picks up another foul. That's his second. Ryan Scalabrine, who is on the front page of a lot of the sports pages here in the area. And Mike James will come back in the game. He'll take the place of Chauncey Billups. Chauncey's played with the bad back, too, in this series, and they'll go over and get some treatment on that and a much-needed breather.
Well, the big thing with the back is that you just don't stiffen up. You got to make sure as you sit down over there, your body doesn't cool down to when you get stiffened up, it's hard to get yourself warmed up again.
So we saw with Sam Cassell in Minnesota, who's been using heat, ice, and electric stim to try to get that thing loose and ready to go. James Wallace for 3. And Rasheed Wallace, that's the beauty of his game. He has a low post presence. He's a great defender when he plays, but an outside shot gives him a real special niche at his size.
33-14 run now for Detroit after being down 13-2. There's an offensive foul on Kenyon Martin. And again, Kevin, I can't tell you, the game is a very simple game. When you score and you make teams have to run offense against you, teams are so well scouted and so well prepared, it's tough to score in 24 seconds against the defense that these teams play.
Well, the Nets finding that out. Only 1 of 6 in this second quarter with 6 turnovers. And Mike James is in there against Kidd. They've got Aaron Williams on Rasheed Wallace with the double now clamped on by Kidd. They're moving the ball, and that was key tonight for Detroit, and that shows you why it is so important. You touched on it earlier. They get from side to side, strong to weak, and James nails it.
That's a great call. Larry Brown said the one thing he's going to be looking for is, do we get the ball, do we move the ball to the weak side of the floor, make the extra pass, make New Jersey's defense shift.
10-0 Detroit Piston run. Kittles and Jefferson with the fake, and Okur bit, and so he wiggles his way in, but he's surrounded by blue uniforms. Another New Jersey turnover.
Well, Kevin, as a young player, I was always told the most dangerous man in basketball is the man away from the basketball. Rip Hamilton does a nice job, little bump screen, curls, goes to the basket. No communication with New Jersey, gets a layup. This time he's going to come off, he's going to curl, getting the shooting pocket. Kenyon Martin slow to step up. He buries that little jumper. This time he curls, catch and shoot, knocks in the jumper. 6 of 9 for Richard Hamilton. He has 12 points. He was the one guy who got them off to a little bit of a decent start with his shooting. But the second quarter numbers for the Pistons, 14-2. They're high offensive efficiency shooting the ball. Fast break points have flipped, all because of the good defense, their ability now to make New Jersey shoot jump shots.
Hamilton, by the way, broke that nose. They gave him a chance to have some surgery on it. He was out a handful of games. Now wears the mask still as that nose continues to heal. Jason Collins back in the game against Okur. Gambling in, lunging in, and drawing a foul. He's out there with Martin, Kittles, Jefferson, and Kidd. That's the New Jersey 5.
Well, Jason Kidd is guarding Mike James, and he's not guarding Richard Hamilton. The reason he's not is because he's going to be their roamer on defense, a lot like Kobe was in the San Antonio. So he's going to be roaming. So Mike James, if he will make himself available, will get open shots, because Jason Kidd now is going to be helping out on the other players.
Collins picked up the New Jersey foul. Here's Rip Hamilton with Okur, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, and Mike James, and they go inside. Another New Jersey foul. No one in the game has 3 fouls as of yet, except now Collins, who just picked up his 3rd.
Well, foul problems have been a problem in this series. 8 guys fouled out of the game the other night, an NBA playoff high. And New Jersey finished the game with Richard Jefferson and Scalabrine as their front line. I mean, that was their front line. A lot of people want to know why Larry Brown did not go with a bigger lineup in the overtimes and all. He said, I was playing uphill. They were on a small lineup out there, and I needed speed.
Hamilton sails in. He's gone 7 of 10. And the Pistons have been hot and cold. They've hit their last 5. And they began, of course, the game 1 of 5. The Nets have missed their last 5 as they come the other way. A 12-0 Detroit run. Kittles to Aaron Williams, who is in for the foul-plagued Jason Collins.
Well, Okur went for the steal there. When he did, he opened up the basket. If you're guarding Aaron Williams, make him make shots. Don't give him dunks.
We've been tied 4 times. We've had a lead change. And Mike James. Wide open, Ben Wallace. Rebound, Jason Kidd, a very good rebounding guard.
See, that's a shot that Ben Wallace takes this year. Would not have taken that last year.
Kittles rejected by Okur. And picked up by Mike James. It's a 2-on-2 with the trailer and Rip Hamilton. And James, a good offensive rebound and a foul. It's on Jefferson, who went swiping at the ball. And Richard Jefferson picks up. Now they're going to call it on Aaron Williams, who picks up his first.
Well, Okur does a nice job here meeting Kittles at the rim to get the block shot. Again, the big lineup that Detroit has on the floor right now is bothering New Jersey, smothering the basket. So Wallace, and Okur right now sounds like a law firm, but right now they are defense lawyers.
Well, they went over and discussed it, the referees did, about who the foul was on. I think there was some thought it might be on Jefferson. It is on Aaron Williams. You take a look at Okur, and there's Jefferson, who's put in 8. Detroit from the free throw line tonight, 2 of 8. Now 3 of 9. The Nets are 3 of 6 in the contest so far.
Well, Detroit closed the first quarter with a great run. Let's see if New Jersey can return the favor and get themselves back in this game. Detroit has taken the crowd out of the game. Detroit now back into a zone defense.
And energy will do that for you, and some good defense. And Kidd for 3, nailing it. Jason Kidd has not had a very good shooting series, only 30% in this series, and his 3-point shooting in this series down 20%.
Larry Brown hates to play zone. He goes to possession his zone, and Jason Kidd hits a 3. You can just see him look over there like, I'm not playing that zone.
That's Kidd's first hit tonight. He's got 3 points on a 1 away from where we are right now here in this Continental Airlines Arena. There's also a horse track over here where they have some racing, so it's a multifaceted complex, and a turnover right there. And here comes Jason Kidd finding Kittles for 3, and retrieved by Kittles. His own miss in the corner. The fresh 24. That's only the second offensive rebound of the game for New Jersey. A hustling Mike James. He brings some energy off the bench.
After starting out 9 of 15 shooting, New Jersey now 5 of 15 from the floor. So Detroit's defense has turned this game in their favor.
Knocked out of bounds. Nice deflection by Kittle. Kittles, who knocks it away. D, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, in that last timeout, Larry Brown pointed up to the clock. He said, we have 3:47. We must close out this quarter. We cannot allow them to get on a run heading into halftime. Coach, I know you could appreciate emphasizing closing out the half.
No question, D, especially right now. They've got a little bit of control of this game. They put some doubt in New Jersey's mind. You don't want them to go into the halftime excited.
Wallace with the miss and a 24-second violation. That's turnover number 10 for the Detroit Pistons. And that equals the number of turnovers for the New Jersey Nets.
We haven't seen much of Tayshaun Prince. He got off to a quiet start, 3 minutes after 15.10 rebounds in game 1. Larry Brown going to a more experienced, powerful team.
And 2 fouls on Prince as well, as Jefferson went across the lane and picked up the foul.
It's one of those games where if a guy doesn't have it, you got to give somebody else a chance. I mean, because there is no tomorrow. I mean, this is an elimination game, so if you're struggling, you got to put somebody else in there. Okur gave him good minutes. Corliss Williamson has given him some nice minutes. And Detroit is taking control of this game a little bit.
Williamson picks up his second foul. Here's Richard Jefferson. He's playing so well, especially when New Jersey is kicking as a team, and he's usually the guy doing the cooking. Get an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune into the NBA TV playoff show, Destination Finals. It's every weeknight at 6 o'clock, only on NBA TV.
See, both of these teams, especially New Jersey at home, and it's what Dee was talking about. When you play New Jersey, you got to control the surges of the game. They started out with a 13-2 run. You don't want to let them end the half the same way. Jefferson is the only net player in double figures. New Jersey's on a 7-1 run. Here come the Pistons, shooting exactly 50% for the game. Phillips, 3. Williamson to Ben Wallace inside. And Phillips, another 3, his second from above the arc tonight. And the Pistons have a lead of 43-34. They've gone 3 of 3, shooting the triple tonight against New Jersey's defense. And they were 18 for 71 going into this game.
really struggling. Yep, they're only 27%. And a three-point shot here, which is no good. New Jersey now shooting 43% for the game. Right near 27% for Detroit in the series for threes during the regular season, shooting 34%. Billups across the lane.
His back didn't hurt on that one. That was just sheer strength. He out-muscled Kerry Kittles to the basket. Nobody back there to block shots. Jason Collins has fouls.
Kittles. And they go to Kenyon Martin with the shot clock down to 6. He works on Ben Wallace, and a quick foul on Ben Wallace. And that is the first on him.
Well, Detroit allows Billups to go off the ball. Richard Hamilton handled it at the top. They want to let him score a little bit, and that was just a muscle shot as he got into the lane. Chauncey Billups will check out now. Larry Brown does not want him to pick up another foul going into the half.
You watch this New Jersey team, of course, in transition, they're great, but when an opposing team makes shots, like the Pistons are tonight, 51% of their shots, that takes away a great part of their game. This is one of the fastest teams in the NBA.
Well, how do you run? You run on steals, forcing turnovers, forcing teams to miss shots, anything like that where you can get out and force the team to be able to push the ball up the floor. When the ball starts going in the basket, now you got to take the ball in. The defense gets back. If you cut your turnovers down, you don't give them easy run outs. And that's what Detroit has done. They had a lot of turnovers early, and they started out shooting 1 of 9, and New Jersey ran out and jumped to a 13-2 lead. Since then, Detroit has been very efficient.
Martin now 3 of 3 from the line, has 9 points. Game high 14 from Rip Hamilton. He's got the ball. He's picked up by Kidd. A Wallace screen. And it's Rasheed Wallace getting it from Hamilton, who has the assist.
Well, we talked about him needing to score tonight. He has 9 points now early in this game. He's been averaging 11 in this series. So he's had a nice first half.
I say Hamilton with the assist because he had 11 assists the other night in that triple overtime game. 11 points and 11 assists for Rip Hamilton on Friday. Martin across the lane. Went against Ben Wallace. That has been a battle inside. Rodney Rogers in the game. Rasheed Wallace ripped it away, and a Rodney Rogers foul, and hit with his third.
This is a gritty game by Rasheed Wallace. We know that his foot is hurting, and he has been tough around that basket. Watch him get up. He and Ben Wallace have been so tough to score again, and this is the defense that we saw in the year when they were healthy. The two Wallaces back there made it virtually impossible to score in the lane. It's one of the better field goal percentage defensive teams in the league, and one of the better defensive teams, period.
Free throw shooting tonight in terms of attempts. The Pistons will have their 10th attempt coming up here from Wallace. Already 10 shots from the line for New Jersey. When we take a look at the series-long free throw numbers, they're basically dead even, as Wallace can't hit the first.
Well, manufacturing points. You know, you get layups, you get free throws, any little broken play you get. How many times you see that ball kick out? Ben Wallace kicks it out to Chauncey Billups. He hits a 3. All those little hustle plays add up in the course of 48 minutes.
Rasheed tonight is 0 of 2 from the free throw line. He was 3 of 3 on Friday and gets that one to roll in. The Pistons have led by as many as 12, and that's their lead right now, 48-36 with a half minute to go in the half. Kidd, Rogers, and Kerry Kittles, who is on the line, shooting at 2. And Ben Wallace with the rebound. He now has 12 rebounds and 3 points.
Going here for the last shot. Going to take a 20-second timeout. Larry Brown will diagram a play. Triple overtime game.
Okur and Ben Wallace. There is a difference of about 5.5 seconds. Game clock to shot clock. No fouls to give either way.
That's a lot of trust letting Rip Hamilton go against Jason Kidd.
2. And Hamilton hits it. He's got a game-high 16 points, giving the Pistons their biggest lead tonight. Kidd for 3. Rebound, the 13th by Ben Wallace, which takes us to halftime on that Portland shot.
Today to find a way to overcome this 14-point lead, Kevin.
Well said, and of course, let's not forget the fact that early in this season they changed head coaches too. They went from Byron Scott to Lawrence Frank, and we'll get the D-lineman in just a second with Jason Kidd working around Billups and trying to get it inside to Richard Jefferson. Tayshaun Prince with 2 fouls Back in the game around Wallace and across the lane. Jefferson can't get it. So Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, and Rip Hamilton, the 5 for the Detroit Pistons, and the Nets out there with Collins, Martin, Jefferson, Kittles, and Kidd.
Well, they've gone now back with Kerry Kittles playing Richard Hamilton, and now they have Jason Kidd on Billups. So they've gone back to where they started the series.
It's Kidd, Martin going by Prince, who can't get another foul on him because he wants to play out there a little bit longer. Here comes Hamilton facing Jefferson and slides in and slammed in by Ben Wallace. Up high and down hard.
But if the last 2 possessions aren't a microcosm of Ben Wallace's game. Block shot on one end, sprint the floor, and tip dunk it on the other.
Here comes Kittles. New Jersey has missed their last 9 shots going back to the second quarter. Across the lane, Kenyon Martin and Ben Wallace, rather Rasheed Wallace was there. Ben Wallace is knocking out Collins, and Rasheed Wallace gets the rebound.
Every shot contested. Deflections, shot blocks. Right now, Detroit is playing as well defensively as I've seen them play in a long time.
Detroit led this series 2 games to none. They have lost 3 straight. Hamilton with 2 defending, up and off, and a foul. Let's go to D-Lineup.
Kevin Lawrence rattled off a number of things that he didn't like. Didn't think they did a good job with their dribble penetration. They got beat on with baseline screens, and they didn't block out well. But he said the bottom line, Detroit's a team playing with a greater sense of urgency. We got to go out there, disrupt things, and try to force the tempo back to our style of basketball.
And what that does, Doug, is it takes the crowd out of the game, which we saw them in the game early, but certainly the crowd was out of the game late in the first half.
I'm impressed with Detroit because I didn't know that they could overcome a huge start by New Jersey. That 13-2 start was a nightmare. That's the last thing Larry Brown wanted. His team regrouped, and they've done a fabulous job. I mean, since being down 11, they now are up by 17. That's a 28-point swing on the road.
Yeah, exactly. This is the biggest lead that the Pistons have had in this game. New Jersey led by 2 and by as many as 11 in that first quarter, but by 2 as it closed at halftime. The Pistons were up by 14. Kidd slicing inside.
You know that New Jersey's going to make a run, though. It always happens. The home team is going to make a surge. Can Detroit fight it off when it starts to come?
5 minutes on that field goal drought by the New Jersey Nets. And here comes Ben Wallace as he tries to carve his way into Collins. A rebound by Martin. And Wallace kind of slowed up the quick release right there because he was in front of Martin, so that slowed up the fast break.
That's a great thing. With New Jersey, you want to slow down the advance of that basketball. It's a great point.
Collins is going inside, Doug, and a quick foul on Rasheed Wallace of the Detroit Pistons.
New Jersey wants to outlet that ball quickly up the floor, Kevin. They want to be able to get that ball up and attack before you can get back, and you can pass the ball up the floor much quicker than you can dribble it. So when you play them, you have to try to take away those passing lanes.
Because the initial thing you've got is a offensive player with the missed shot going back on defense. Let's haul to get back on defense, but to stay up just an extra second against a team like the Nets could make a difference.
Well, it's okay for your big men to do that, to shadow the rebounder. But your perimeter people have to get back. Right. If they start hanging around the basketball, that's when you give up those layups on the other end. But your perimeter people must sprint back.
Collins has the second one roll in, knocks down 2. A little full court pressure by New Jersey, so if they can't do it on offense, they'll do it on defense. Here comes Tayshaun Prince.
Well, their defense creates their offense, and right now Detroit is so efficient that Detroit has not been able, New Jersey can't get anything easy.
Detroit shooting 49%. Hamilton fans on that shot, and it goes kicking out of bounds. Rip is shooting 50% tonight, 8 of 16.
Now, how long will Larry Brown go with Tayshaun Prince? Remember, he struggled in that first half, played only 3 minutes. He did pick up a couple fouls, but if it looks like New Jersey makes a run, will Larry go right back to his bench that was so good to him?
And Prince is having, as you mentioned before, struggling. He's only shooting 31% in this series against the Nets.
Well, he had a great game 1. He had 15 points and 10 rebounds, and Richard Jefferson was 1 of 12. Tonight, he's only taken 1 shot, and he's a reluctant shooter right now. And against New Jersey, you can't play 4 on 5.
Billups just picked up his 3rd foul. Here come the Nets, shooting 36% for the game from the floor. Kidd guarded by Billups. Wide open is Kittles. Prince is there defensively. Jefferson went around a couple defenders and across the lane with about as much grace as you'll find any player in the league, and he leads a 6-0 charge by New Jersey. Tayshaun Prince. Chauncey Billups, Detroit They started 1 of 6 to start this third quarter.
That's how you get back in the game again with the offensive efficiency.
Prince is doubled. Phillips guarded by Kittle. Shot clock at 1. The fake by Chauncey, launching the 3. As Collins and Wallace battle, and here comes New Jersey.
The New Jersey scores here. Larry Brown will take a timeout. You got to take the surges, the runs out of the game, keep the crowd quiet.
Jefferson, Kidd, rotating to an open Kittles for 3.
It's a simple game. Get the ball to the basket if you're Richard Jefferson. Put the pressure at the front of the rim. Detroit has started out this quarter 1 of 7. New Jersey has answered with a run. They trail 2. Now it's 1 of 7. That's 9-3. Or is it like 25-5, 22-5, just in those 2 little spurts for New Jersey when you shoot the ball poorly?
So the Pistons have been up by 17. The Nets have been up by 11.
New Jersey showing a little bit of a zone here. Now matching up into a man-to-man. Where is Detroit going to get a basket?
Martin is on Rasheed Wallace, who loses his balance. That is a turnover, and it's number 11 on the Pistons. Jason Kidd was stripped of the ball as he tried to go inside. No changes out of that timeout. Do you line him? What do you have?
Well, Kevin, Doug said, I wonder how long Larry Brown will stay with Tayshaun Prince. He said to Tayshaun in a very polite way, you got to make something happen out there or you're going to have to come sit on the sideline next to me. He said, we have one guy trying to score the ball. That's Richard Hamilton. We need all 5.
We need all 5. And speaking of numbers, 4 fouls now on New Jersey's Jason Collins. 4 fouls on him. Stays in the game. Here comes Billups. Kittles picks him up. Pistons have not scored the last 3.5 minutes from the field. Hamilton and Kidd. They got Collins with the fouls on Wallace. Let's see what Ben will do with the fadeaway. And a rebound by Richard Jefferson. Why didn't he just drive it right into him?
Well, he doesn't have that kind of capability. He's 2 for 11. Now, Ben's done a great job on the boards, 15 rebounds, but he's 2 of 11 from the floor and has missed 3 free throws. So I don't think he can be your go-to guy out there.
Kidd, guarded by Billups. Shot clock down to 7. Richard Jefferson and Wallace late with the defense.
Nice little back pick there by Jason Collins. A subtle little thing. It will not show up. But Richard Jefferson looked over and pointed to him and he said, nice screen. And look at New Jersey pick up their defense.
It's Tayshaun Prince who banks it home. And that breaks a drought from the field of over 3 minutes and 45 seconds and an 11-0 New Jersey run. That does a lot, and the Pistons are up by 8. Kidd guarded by Billups. And back of him, Rasheed Wallace. Here comes Jefferson with Prince on him. For 3. Air ball. 16th rebound by Ben Wallace. And the rebounding in the game is now plus 14 for the Detroit Pistons. That's a pretty big margin. Hamilton with the miss. Rebound Jefferson.
New Jersey wants to push on every miss.
Leading scorer in the game is Hamilton with his 17. Jason Kidd off balance. Offensive rebound by Kenyon Martin. Kidd looking at 3. The deceptive move and a pass. And Kenyon Martin. And a foul on Detroit.
The energy level right now has swung completely to New Jersey. All the aggression that was in Detroit to get this little surge now has gone to New Jersey. Aaron Williams will come into the game for Jason Collins, who, again, subtly has done some nice things, has picked up the fouls, but the screening and all that he does, his defense, helps his team. Aaron Williams now needs to come in with this deficit and give his team a lift.
He's got energy. Tayshaun Prince just picked up his 3rd personal foul with 5:50 to play here in the third quarter. Kenyon Martin on the line tonight, a pristine 4 of 4. 10 points, 4 rebounds. Jefferson's 14 in New Jersey high.
I love this guy's game because he plays with such an energy and fire and passion. Sometimes we've seen in the past where it's got a little out of control with some suspensions, but he's toned his game down, and he is a terrific player. And he is the emotional leader. You look at him with his team. Get up the floor. We're behind. We've got to make something happen.
We need that voice out there. And from the line tonight, New Jersey 11 of 14, Detroit 5 of 13. Pistons have knocked down 4 of 6 threes. This time Prince tries to penetrate and gets it after he fumbled it away.
Well, D. Lynham gave us the report. Larry Brown said, you better make something happen or I've got to get you out of the game. Well, he's come out now with 2 field goals.
Aaron Williams in for Collins, as Doug just said. Collins with the foul problems. And here's Kidd out there with Martin, Kittles, along with Williams and Jefferson, and Aaron Williams, who has it held by Billups in the jump ball. Billups and Prince, the 2 Wallaces, and Hamilton.
Well, you would expect Aaron Williams to get this tip, but if you're New Jersey, you want to make sure you get 2 guys together to give you a little tipping lane. And if you're Detroit, you try to read the eyes to see where he's going to tip it and maybe get the steal. Probably tip this ball back to Kerry Kittles. See if Richard Hamilton can read it. Now it looks like he's going to try to go to Richard Jefferson. And they steal it. They read the eyes, but just couldn't come up with it.
And you were right. Jefferson was the intended guy. Quick rejection by Prince. 3-on-2 is foiled by Jefferson. And he's got Ben Wallace in front of him. Billups is on Kidd, and they go down low with Martin and Rasheed Wallace with some bumping and grinding. Jefferson saves it. Shot clock is down to 10 with under 5 to play in the third. Kidd, great screen by Williams. Flips it out. Jefferson, great fake, and he seduces Ben Wallace, who picks up a foul. That is the second on Wallace. And he was shooting the 2, right?
Yeah, his foot was on the line.
Foot was on the line.
Look at Ben Wallace, the amount of space that he takes up and recovers. The guy was in the paint and got to the guy shooting a 3-point shot. You wonder why? Back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. That guy was in the lane, and I know you're not supposed to foul a jump shooter, but how about him getting out and closing down at the 3-point line? You know, it's amazing, Kevin, the defense that's played in the NBA now, the amount of space that NBA guys can cover. I mean, you can double team the post, you can rotate and still get the shooters. These guys are amazing athletes.
Well, and the rules, of course, help them do that, too. I mean, they have some maneuverability now since they've tweaked the defensive rules.
Yeah, you don't have to necessarily stay on that weak side of the floor just as long as you're not standing in the lane for 3 seconds.
It is a 15-4 New Jersey run, down at one time by 17. The Pistons find themselves only up now by 6. A steal by Kidd, one-on-one with Hamilton, who impedes his progress, in a foul called on Rip Hamilton for the second time.
Now look where Ben Wallace is right now. Look where he is right now. Richard Jefferson already has the basketball. Look at this. And hangs in the air. I know he fouled the jump shooter. It's pretty tough to argue with that kind of a hustle and aggressiveness. I mean, Ben Wallace is the heart and soul of this Pistons defensive team. And you see it when you go to the Palace. Everybody knows where this defense all starts with that guy right there.
Now in the penalty with 4:23 left in the third. No one for the Pistons has 4 fouls. Only Collins has 4 in the game, and he, of course, is for New Jersey.
Now a 4-point game, so we talked that run was going to be coming by New Jersey. Could Detroit fight them off? We'll find out. Still over 16 minutes to play in this game.
We've had only 1 lead change in the game. We've had 4 ties. As Billups is picked up by Kittles, and Jefferson is quickly on Tayshaun Prince. Aaron Williams and Ben Wallace. Shot clock at 2, knocked away by Kittles. There's a 3-on-2 with Kittles in the middle by Jefferson, and Kidd puts it in.
Turnovers, bad shooting equals New Jersey success.
2-point game, timeout Detroit.
Well, you see Kerry Kittles getting into the body of Richard Hamilton on the dribble. Takes the ball to the basket, miss it, but Jason Kidd follows it up. The miss, you see that you force Richard Hamilton to dribble that left hand, not nearly as effective. Kerry Kittles right to the basket there is Jason Kidd. Jason had been much, and there it is once again. Kenyon Martin, their emotional leader, getting this crowd revved up after
Hamilton gets it, and Kidd will defend. Shot clock at 11, a 3 by Rip Hamilton. And out of bounds, it's off Detroit.
Boy, all the shots now for Detroit coming out of rhythm. New Jersey has really picked up their defense, and really Richard Hamilton's the only guy looking for Detroit to score right now. Corliss Williams is going to come into the game to give them another option.
Very efficient Nets team tonight. 14 assists and 19 made field goals. Kidd kicks it out, and Kittles picked up by Hamilton. Rasheed Wallace is on Kenyon Martin. And across the lane and off balance, and a rebound by Wallace. That's Ben Wallace with his 18th rebound tonight.
He's going to end up with 30 tonight before this game's over.
It's Hamilton. And Phillips, who's hit 2 threes, launching another. Loose inside, picked up by Hamilton. And Ben Wallace with another rebound, this time on the offensive glass. Surrounded by white uniforms. Hamilton kicks it to Phillips. And they'll reset. Kittle's defending. Pistons led at halftime by 14. Jacked it up to 17. Double team Prince. Rasheed Wallace and Phillips for 3. Another miss and a rebound by Richard Jefferson.
New Jersey swarming. That's a clinic of a tape. Lawrence Frank should put that in his file right there. That was a tremendous defensive possession.
The Nets haven't led since the beginning of the second quarter. Aaron Williams. Rebound by Ben Wallace, who lassos his 20th rebound. And the Pistons by 2 with about 2 to play in the third.
So he put 30 in the book right now for Ben Wallace.
Make that extra pass. That was the key. It was kicked by Martin. They'll go to 14 seconds. The shot clock was down to 12, but we have not seen the patience by the Pistons like we did at times in the first half.
Well, first half, watch the rotation. Rip Hamilton chased off the ball. Here comes Tayshaun Prince. Watch, they run him into a double team. Lucius Harris rotates over, takes that shot away. Aaron Williams comes running out of the paint, gets a hand up at the three-point shooter. The great block out by Richard Jefferson.
Back in as well for the Detroit Pistons. The Nets are shooting only 33% in this quarter. But they've cut the halftime lead from 14 down to 2. Rip Hamilton with a much-needed basket. And Hamilton leads all scorers with 19 points in the game. That breaks a drought from the field for Detroit of over 3.5 minutes. And here comes New Jersey shooting 37% for the game.
And Detroit goes zone here to try to slow down the offense. You got to keep your eye on Kittles now against this zone.
Trying to work it inside, and out of bounds it goes, and back to the Pistons, who come the other way, shooting 44%. And a miss by Aaron Williams inside, and tonight Williams off the bench, 2 of 4.
See, Larry Brown loves to do things coming out of timeouts. When you coach against him, he's got the ball, expect some little backdoor or lob. This time he goes zone defensively.
Move inside, and a New Jersey foul.
I'm going to tell you the risk that New Jersey runs right now. They have made a great surge to get themselves back in the game. They've used up a lot of energy, Kevin, doing it. Now, right now, Detroit's going to try to make a little close here to finish this period. So we'll see if New Jersey now can fight off as Detroit tries to make a little push.
And Wallace standing on the free throw as the Nets are +4 in attempts from the line tonight. Hey, don't miss Braves TBS baseball this Tuesday. The Braves take on the Diamondbacks. Braves baseball this Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern Time. And Wallace again. Ben Wallace, 2 of 11 from the field, 2 of 6 from the line, 6 points, 20 rebounds, 9 on the offensive glass.
Now, this is normally the time that Lawrence Frank likes to rest Jason Kidd, but being down, I don't know that he's going to be able to. When he did in the first half, they turned the ball over 3 straight times.
Kenyon Martin just picked up his 3rd foul. Here comes Lucius Harris to Jefferson. And Detroit is +16 in rebounding in this game. Earlier in this 3rd quarter, the Pistons led by 17. Their lead now at 5 as New Jersey creeped to within 2 points in this 3rd.
Another possession of zone by New Jersey.
Mike James in the game, crossing the line over and back. And that will be a turnover. And for the Pistons D-line, their 15th turnover. What do you have?
Well, along the lines of what Doug just said in that last timeout, Lawrence Frank said to Jason Kidd, we get the lead, I will get you a blow. But right now, I just got to have you play from timeout to timeout.
Are you communicating over there with them, Coach, or what is that?
Well, you're behind. Last time you took him out, your team fell apart. You don't have that luxury right now.
Kenyon Martin.
Another possession of zone. That time a little more patience by New Jersey. They got the ball inside. You don't have to shoot a jump shot against the zone. Move the ball, you can get the ball in the lane.
No fouls to give either way. Martin's got 13 points. Jefferson's got a Jersey high 16 points. Kidd with 9 and 6 assists. And the game's leading scorer, Hamilton, with 19, missing inside. Here comes Kidd. He wants to run. But look at the transition defense for Detroit.
Last possession, 7 seconds on the clock.
So the Pistons set their defense, and Jefferson popping a 2. Rebound Williamson. That should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
12 in favor of the Pistons in the first half, 21-7 for New Jersey. Who will close out this game? Will we go back to the Palace, or will New Jersey move on to the next round?
We begin the fourth quarter with Detroit leading by 3. Billups, Williamson, Wallace, that's Rasheed Wallace, Ahmet Okur, and Mike James out there, and it's a New Jersey 5 of Kenyon Martin, Kidd, Lucius Harris, Aaron Williams in for Collins, who's got foul problems, and Richard Jefferson. And Jefferson, who sheds the defense of Williamson and is picked up by Wallace, goes inside to Kenyon Martin, and there is Okur with the rebound, and off the bench he's pulled down 5 tonight.
He's given him nice minutes tonight. Did not play much in game 5.
Williamson off the baseline with a nice feed from Mike James on top.
See, Williamson can score, and they're going to go at Richard Jefferson and make him play defense, try to wear him down with a bigger, stronger player.
This is game 6, second round, Eastern Conference semifinal. New Jersey's up 3 games to 2 over Detroit. Pistons led at halftime, 50-36. They're up by 14. They built that lead to 17 in the third before New Jersey, as Doug just told you, closed on a 21-7 run to close the third. Right now we've got a 62-57 Detroit lead with 10:49 to play.
Playing uphill is tough, Kevin, because Detroit is trying to fight New Jersey off right now. They expended a tremendous amount of energy in that third quarter. Jason Kidd might have to play the rest of the game. How much gas is going to be in that tank to finish? New Jersey now in a zone defense.
Lindsey Hunter has come in for the Detroit Pistons. Hit a big 3 back in the first half. It came at a time when Detroit was building that pretty good-sized lead. Here's Williamson with the shot clock at 4. And knocked away by Kenyon Martin. It's off New Jersey. New Jersey winning the Atlantic Division for a 3rd consecutive year. And down 0-2 in this series, and then Detroit watches them run roughshod for 3 straight wins. And so Detroit facing elimination tonight in this 6th game.
Well, Brian Scalabrine in the game for Aaron Williams. Aaron really struggling tonight. He's had a couple turnovers, missed a couple easy shots.
Okur, Scalabrine out on him. They got Lucius Harris on Billups. And they see something they like in Okur in the Scalabrine matchup. Plenty of time for him to work, and he hooks it up and in. I guess that's what they want.
That's a big-time play. That's why they like this young guy so much. He can post, he can slide out on the floor and shoot it. I don't think he's in great shape right now. It looks like he's gotten out of shape a little bit with not playing much, and they need him. He's a big part of this team.
New Jersey shooting 36%. There's a foul on Lindsey Hunter, who is leaning on Jason Kidd.
Lindsey Hunter takes it personal when you try to post him. This is a tough, strong little guy. And you can see him fighting Jason Kidd every step of the way. He's not going to give an inch in that post.
Jefferson with Williamson defending. And a 3 by Kidd. Missing it all. Rebound by Rasheed Wallace. And the 3-point shooting tonight by New Jersey, 2 of 14. And Detroit comes in right now with this possession, shooting 44%. Rasheed Wallace missing a 3. Offensive rebound by Okur as he grabs his 6th rebound tonight.
Well, that rebounding is the big difference right now for Detroit. You see Wallace step up and shoot the air ball, but rebounding critical for right now for the Pistons.
And the Pistons are plus 17 in rebounding. Inside, Kenyon Martin handcuffed and banged by Williamson, and a foul called on the Detroit Pistons as they try to grind it out, and Williamson picks up foul number 3. What a rebounding advantage for the Detroit Pistons in this game, when the rebounding was basically the same coming into it through the first 5 games.
On that possession, I looked around New Jersey. Everybody except Scalabrine had their hands on their shorts, tugging at their shorts, bent over. That's how much energy they've expended. You've got Kenyon Martin, who's played a lot. You've had Jason Kidd. You've got Jefferson. Those guys have played heavy minutes. Remember, they're coming off the triple overtime game. Detroit has the deeper bench. Will that be the difference here to close the game?
But when you were a coach, Doug, I mean, you want your team to come back. With you coaching, they usually did, but how do you regulate that? What do you tell them?
When you're behind, you can't.
Right.
I mean, that's why you get behind. That's why it's so difficult, because now when you're playing uphill, you can't go to your bench. Now you start missing free throws because of fatigue and all over the place. That's why when you get a big hole it's tough to come back from because how hard it is to expend that energy.
Little mismatch with Kidd guarded by Rasheed Wallace. They've got Billups on Scalabrine. And now Williamson guarding Martin. You saw this matchup back in the first half. And over the shorter Williamson, another rebound by the Detroit Pistons. Look at them push it on a 4-on-2. But the transition defense pretty good for New Jersey. And into Okur, knocked away by Jefferson. Another turnover. Nets haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. And what a way to end the drought as Jefferson floats one up to a thunder slam from Kenyon Martin.
You know, when you turn the ball over against New Jersey, it's almost like handing the baton to the anchor guy in a relay. He's going to run down and finish.
3 in double figures for the Nets tonight, led by the 16 of Jefferson. Wallace from right inside. And that is his first points of the second half. Points has been the big lead of the Nets. Now out of this break, what do you expect defensively from Detroit?
I'm a little bit surprised Larry Brown doesn't go zone so that they can't run the play that they draw up here. New Jersey obviously has a set play they want to run. And it's to get Lucius Harris an open jump shot.
And that's exactly what they got. And Lucius Harris, who is coming off a 12-point game 5, shooting better this series than he did against the New York Knicks, where he was only 3 of 14. And tonight, Harris with a couple of points for New Jersey.
Well, Detroit has gone small right now. They have Lindsey Hunter, Billups, and Hamilton out there.
And Wallace and Okur, the big guys, and a big-time 3 outside the second tonight, authored by Lindsey Hunter.
Lindsey Hunter just lets it go. That's 2 threes he's hit now.
There's Scalabrine with Kidd, Collins back in, Jefferson and Harris. That's the 5 on the floor for both New Jersey and Detroit. And that is a third foul, D-Lina. On Hamilton, what do you got?
Well, it's interesting how Lawrence Frank had said Kenyon needed a break. Kenyon actually voiced that. Richard said he was fine, and he didn't even ask Jason Kidd in that last timeout because I think everybody there now knows he's going to have to play this one out.
Here comes Kenyon Martin, picked up by Ben Wallace.
That was power there. Normally he has to try to pump fake on Ben Wallace. That time he just goes quickly right to the basket.
New Jersey has had to go inside because their outside game has been horrible. 2 of 14 shooting threes, as we mentioned. The Pistons 5 of 11 with the 3-point shooting night. Billups with a couple and Lindsey Hunter with a couple. Here comes Hamilton with the nice fake. Harris counted for 2 and a foul.
See, that rest helped Richard Hamilton. He worked so hard in the third period. He was 8 of 13 at halftime, was only 1 of 8 in the third quarter because they geared their defense to stop him. He feels he can score against Lucius Harris, the little up and under move. The and 1 opportunity here for Richard Hamilton. If he scores this, he pushes that lead back to 9 for Detroit. So trying to push that lead up once again.
When you had him, what'd you like best about Hamilton's game?
Speed and his ability to move without the ball, and he's a scorer. If you get him a crack of daylight, he can score. And I love that he's a mid-range shooter. He doesn't live with just long-range jump shots.
3-22 for Hamilton. Crowns down the lane, and Okur met him in mid-flight. A foul called on Lamont Okur. That means more free throws. That's the first on him. Free throw shooting for the Nets. 15 of 20 for the Pistons. 7 of 16.
Richard Hamilton down in the post playing against Richard Jefferson. Getting outweighed by about 25 pounds down there.
Collins from the free throw line tonight is 2 of 2. As it was the other night in that 4-hour marathon. The playoffs continue Tuesday night on ESPN. Pacers and the Heat, Game 6. And Wednesday night, TNT, Game 7 between the Kings and the Timberwolves. Coverage beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And again, followed by Inside the NBA. Collins watches it rattle out. And Billups the other way.
Sort of interesting. Larry's going with a small lineup here. This forces New Jersey to go small. Let's see which small ball can win out.
We've had a lead change in 4 ties. That's been it. Hunter for 3. And trying to get his own miss. His bodies collide and fall out of bounds. And the big center Collins was the one to save it. Here comes Kidd against Hunter.
Well, Lindsey Hunter trying to make life miserable for Jason Kidd. Pressuring him, just trying to continue to wear him down. They love this matchup here. Okur's going to have to double team.
Nice deflection by Billups. Shot clock down to 4 for Kidd, guarded by Hunter.
That was good defensive sequence. That was just a great shot by Jason Kidd as the clock was winding down. But Larry Brown cannot be unhappy about his team's defensive effort on that play.
Kidd's got 8.5 and 11 for the game. Jason also has 7 assists. I mentioned before, one tie. There were over 20 ties in that 4-hour game the other night. A steal by Kidd. Look at the speed. You were just talking about that of Hamilton. Jefferson trailing and putting it in. And New Jersey to within 4 of Detroit with 5.5 to play in the third quarter. Timeout Pistons.
To finish this game.
Here's Rasheed Wallace. Shot clock is down to 15 after the break. Phillips, Tayshaun Prince back in the game. Works on Jefferson's defense. Single digits on the shot clock. Rasheed Wallace. Rebound by Jason Kidd, who collects his 6th rebound tonight, and a New Jersey foul. And Jason Collins picks up number 5, and he has the most of anybody in the game.
He's trying to keep Ben Wallace off the boards, and Ben Wallace is just moving all around. He just sort of lifts him up on that play, but you have to face guard Ben Wallace. You have to do whatever you can, and that's what Jason Collins' job is while he's out on the floor, is don't let Ben Wallace offensive rebound the ball.
Pistons 15 assists and 17 turnovers tonight. It's Phillips, backed up in a couple of net defenders, shot clock at 13. Chauncey with the dance on Kittles. Rip Hamilton, the game's highest score, 22. Knocked away by Jefferson. Kidd. And Kittles has it ricochet off his open palm. Turnovers in the game. 13 for the New Jersey Nets and 10 for the Detroit Pistons. Ben Wallace, you're going to be surprised by this. He's still stuck on 20 rebounds. He has not hit one single rebound in the fourth quarter. 4.5 to play. One foul is called on Kidd. That's the first on Jason. Let's see fast break points and
well,
of interest.
It's in the first 2 games here. New Jersey was up 31 fast break points. So tonight plus 11 free throws are winning that. Offensive rebounds big time for Detroit, and 3-point field goals. Detroit is plus 9 points there. So we got a good finish coming up here, Kevin.
Tayshaun Prince. Rebound by Kenyon Martin. The only time the Pistons have shot in the 40s in this series in their 2 wins, games 1 and games 2. And you thought that was as important as anything for them to manufacture that kind of offense tonight.
Got to make shots.
Out of bounds, and it will be Detroit's ball.
See, what happens in a playoff game when it gets in half court, when you play against a team, this is the 6th game, you know their plays as well as they do. And so they take away every entry pass. They know every screening angle. That's why execution becomes so important, and that's why you got to pick up easy baskets.
They changed it. They gave it to New Jersey when it looked like it was out. So New Jersey inbounds, and Kidd gets the shot and fouled as he was going up. Wait a minute.
I think they've called it on Chauncey Billups off the ball.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Inside Billups picks up a foul. That's the 4th on Chauncey.
That's a bad foul because that shot was going up. It was going to be an air ball, and then more importantly, they're in the penalty, so Richard Jefferson is going to shoot free throws, and New Jersey will shoot free throws the rest of the game.
He's 6 of 6 from the line is Richard Jefferson. He played at Arizona. 7 of 7. Free throw shooting, Nets 17 of 23.
You can see as he's backing in right here, Chauncey Billups backs into him. I think with all the contact that's going on, that's a tough call to make. It's going to get a lot rougher than that in the last 3:57.
Especially those 2 guys, Martin and Rasheed Wallace. They have been grabbing and pulling all night long as the Nets run a 7-0 run.
When was the last time the New Jersey Nets led in this game?
They led 25-23 to start the second quarter. Prince with the drive and a floater and a charge. And Tayshaun Prince picks up a foul. It's number 4.
Kevin, remember when I talked about at halftime that New Jersey has been in more big games, playoff games together. This is a more battle-tested team. Will that be the difference coming down the stretch? This team has had their heart broken, and they've won some big games. Can they pull this elimination game out tonight?
New Jersey shooting 40%. Collins in foul trouble with 5. And Kidd tonight, 4 of 11. Nice interception. And Billups was called into by Jefferson, who lost his balance, and he has his 3rd foul.
Well, that was a nice play by Chauncey Billups. Just fought Richard Jefferson in the low post. And the other night in the triple overtime game, Richard Jefferson had 18 of his 31 points in the overtimes. So he was their go-to guy.
I told you the Nets at 40%. Here comes Detroit, 43% from the field shooting for the game.
Cannot let Ben Wallace lay the ball in the basket. You've got to foul him if he gets around close to the basket.
Pistons haven't scored from the field in about 3 minutes, and he stepped out of bounds trying to maneuver, and just that little bump by Collins was enough to knock off Ben Wallace. And 20 turnovers for the game, 5 in the fourth quarter for the Pistons, who have led by as many as 17. Nets have been up by as many as 11 points. Kidd away by Ben Wallace. Remember now, Ben Wallace, one of the top thieves in the NBA, number 2 in regular season steals. I remember watching that 77 series with Bill Walton.
With your bottle in your crib.
That's right, yeah. I think I was driving it. I did see it. 4 seconds on the shot clock. His Kidd is picked up by Chauncey Billups, and Jason can't get it. And Kidd tonight has struggled from the field, 4 of 12.
What a matchup that is, are two strong physical guards, Jason Kidd and Chauncey Billups.
It's the shot clock violation. You can see right here, decided by 5 points or less. The Pistons 12 and 15, but none in the win column since getting Rasheed Wallace. Rip Hamilton leading all scorers with 22 offensively, corralled by the Pistons.
Now, Ben Wallace will not get that rebound, but he's the one that knocked it out to keep it alive. Can they take advantage of this second shot opportunity?
Here's Billups, who has not scored since 3 minutes left in the second quarter. He is 0 of 3 for this second half. Tayshaun Prince dancing on Jefferson. Rebound by Kenyon Martin, grabbing his 7th rebound with 17 points. Rasheed Wallace is back at the other end, but good transition defense nonetheless by the Detroit Pistons. They got 4 guys back.
Like 78 points wins this game. Who's going to get the 78?
Have any guesses? Martin, 2 to shoot. Nice defense by Rasheed Wallace.
Well, every possession challenge, block shots, bodies flying.
Here comes Detroit. They've missed the last 5 shots from the floor. They have not had a field goal hit in over 5 minutes. Billups with Kittle shoving him on the way in.
I don't want to go back to the Palace, but watch Rasheed Wallace go down. He struggled with that foot injury. He has played such a game today. He is just gutting it out, and Chauncey Billups does a smart thing, get to the line. Normally a terrific free throw shooter.
Billups for the season, 88%. He was 92% in the first round against Milwaukee. He has been 83% so far in this series, and today, Billups 0 of 1. 1 of 2.
And the Pistons are 8 of 18 from the free throw line, so they have missed 10 free throws.
Hamilton in the first half, Doug, he was getting everything to drop, over 50% from the field with nice runners like that.
Really went after him. He was their only offensive guy out on the floor. They knocked some balls loose, couple turnovers here in traffic, trying to make something happen. But Kittle's a jump shot coming off some screens.
It's Kidd picked up by Billups. And now Kittles with Hamilton on him. Jason Collins. Jefferson across the lane. He has scored like that a lot tonight. And a Detroit foul. Prince. Number 5 on him. Doug, I'm just glancing down here at the fast break points. And you have brought this up throughout the game. The Nets are only up 11 in that category, but they came into this game up 47 points for the series in fast break points.
Well, that's their game, and Richard Jefferson did the smart thing. Instead of shooting the jump shot, get to the foul line, he does miss the free throw, and that's what happens. Fatigue and pressure, you start missing free throws, but 17 points the working margin. You give up 17 transition points to New Jersey at home, you feel very good that you can win that game. It's upwards 20s when you get in trouble.
Jefferson gets it. No field goals by either team in the last 4 minutes. Detroit last scored from the field at 6:49.
Rip Hamilton time here. They're going to try to free him up for a jump shot.
Kidd quickly converges defensively. Shot clock is at 7. Hamilton to Rasheed Wallace. He's effective there and puts him up 75-71.
Great catch. Richard Hamilton saw the mismatch. They switched that screen roll, just threw the ball in the air to Rasheed Wallace. Maybe his biggest field goal as a Piston.
He has not won many close games. As the graphic just showed, Jefferson down the lane. Rebound, Jefferson going up, knocked away. Collins comes up with it, and Jefferson trying to reload. Only 2 of 14, three-point shooting for New Jersey. And Jefferson takes the long one and drives down the lane.
How about the persistence of Richard Jefferson? Got 2 shots blocked, missed one, and still went back for more.
That is the first New Jersey field goal in almost 4 minutes. Half minute to play in regulation with the Pistons on top by 2. No fouls to give either way. Hamilton with Kidd bumping on it. Richard Hamilton with a big-time shot.
Now what's the switch on this screen roll? Jason Kidd goes on the screen, finds Rasheed Wallace inside. The drive by Jefferson to make it 2 once again. And then fake Jason Kidd bumps him. The follow through by Richard Hamilton. He knocks the shot down.
Kidd inbounds this time aside from Lucius Harris, who was trying to do it last time. Jefferson, Martin, a lot of time to get that shot away. 9.5 seconds remaining, a 2-point Piston lead.
Remember, no timeouts. You got to try to foul here early. If you don't get a steal, you got to foul quickly.
Timeout, and the Pistons have 1 remaining. Out there for the Pistons. And a quick foul on Jason Kidd. Billups is getting the inbound pass. Detroit has missed 10 free throws tonight.
If you're New Jersey now, the one thing you're hoping for, you need at least 1 miss here. 1 miss gives you a chance. If he makes both of these, if you're Detroit, you get up and you pressure the ball. Under no circumstance, Kevin, do you foul. You make them use clock. Even if they shoot a 3, take a timeout and you can move the ball. So the only thing that can hurt you here right now if you're Detroit is a foul.
Here's Billups at the line, 1 of 2. Now let's see if he makes it a 4-point game, and he does.
Now the only thing for Detroit, if you foul, it's the only way you can lose the game. You do not want to foul. Make them use clock. If you have to, you can take a timeout, but absolutely no foul.
And a steal, and Detroit is still alive. They blew the whistle at the buzzer, and the Detroit Pistons, staring elimination in the face, have gone on to beat. There was, like I said, there was a whistle as the buzzer was sounding, and that's the question now.
Game 5 the other night when Derek Fisher threw the shot in, and then Detroit loses the Game 5. Greg Popovich called him up on the phone. He says, you know what? To win a championship, you have to be able to win on the road. And if you're not capable of winning on the road, you can't win the championship. San Antonio couldn't get it done on the road.
Want to be, you got to be able to win on the road. You showed such a valiant effort there in the second half. Was it one with your defense?
Oh, yeah. I mean, tonight we really knuckled down. You know, we know they're going to make runs, and we didn't let it get to us. You know, we took our time. You know, everybody had a lot of energy, and we did everything possible to get the win.
They kept coming at you, but they were fighting from behind. You had a huge shot there that really sealed the deal there at the end. Can you just talk about the shot and what you were looking for?
I knew I could shoot over top of him, you know, and I just tried to get to a spot. You know, I thought I got fouled on the play too, but I just got my feet underneath me, and I just told myself, even if they don't call a foul, I'm going to try to shoot the shot.
Set the scene for me for Game 7, if you will.
First of all, I hope Doug Collins come back and do the game in Detroit, man. I miss you out there, man. You got to come do the game in Detroit. But it's going to be an exciting game. I mean, this is what we want to do. We want to come here and get a win. You know, we work so hard to get home court advantage. And this is what it's all about. We want to go ahead and knuckle down, and hopefully we can get a win.
All right, Rip, congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Doug, come on to Detroit, man. Stop playing.
Are you going to